that on this fill try we are calling the serial method. So first of all, what will happen if this try node, which is the very first node, if this node itself have a empty hash map, right, in that case it would be returning null value, right, null string it would be returning because there would be no value. So we have a closing condition here. You can see here this is our serial method at line number 26. So if node dot links dot is empty, so links is nothing but this hash map. So if this hash map itself is null, then we are returning directly empty string because there is nothing in that case. Otherwise, so this is our closing condition. This serial is gonna be a recursive function. Now see here, otherwise what we are taking the sorted keys of whatever is the key set of very first thing, right? See here, this would be the key set of our this node, right? ACW would be the key set here. Now we are taking in sorted way. Why we are taking in a sorted way? Because see, the issue here is we have to take it sorted way because these values could be come randomly, right? AC and let's say AC or CB can come first, right? Then this might give a like different values, right? So we want to keep the consistency all the time. What I mean to say, let me clear it here. So suppose we have this AB, right, and then we have CD, right? So this way they can come like A, B, C, D. If now they can, their order can also be changed. So what we want to keep the consistency, we want to always make them same because it doesn't matter if AB comes first like this, if see here like CB comes first or WY come first, it's not a difference. But if we change their order, they should be always consistent. Okay, so for that reason we are sorting them. That is why this ACW would be always there. For example, if we do AWC, then ordering would be changed, then their interpretation would be also changed. So we want to keep the things consistent. So for that reason we are sorting this key, right? So you can see here we got all those keys and we just sorted it, right? Now what is happening, we are making a string builder because now we have to check all the paths that we gonna encounter. And string builder is used because string builders are faster. We cannot go for the string operations because strings are immutable. So see here what we are doing here, we are traversing through this sorted key, like in this case it would be ACW because we are starting from here. So when we are going into it, see here, first of all we are getting the child node. For every ID we have the another child, right? Just like this. See here, A has this child, this is also a child node of it. Similarly B would have another child node. So what we are doing here is, first of all we are taking those child, right? Here we have taken the child based upon the sorted key. Now what we are doing here, you can see carefully that we created this directory string builder object. So this directory we are appending first of all a closing bracket, then we are appending this ID that we encountered from this sorted key. Now you can see here, then I am again appending this serial method for the child, right? And child is the serial method takes the node, right? See here, serial method is taking input parameter as node. So now same serial method I have called here on this, right, for this child node which we got for this ID. Now why I have called here, this is the point where it is going in the bottom up approach. So as soon as we call the serial method, again here we are calling this serial method, so it will go inside that child, right? So it will stop when the child would have the empty with this condition, when it would be reaching, at that time it would be stored, right? So this is being called in the bottom up approach. Now what we gonna do is, here we are taking the converting this directory, whatever directory we got, we converting into the string. Now here we are checking it into the hash map that we created at our class level, right? We created a hash map here. So this is try hash map we created in the solution class. Yeah, I'm talking about this hash map. Okay, so in this hash map we are checking for this. Okay, so what we gonna do is, if already contains, that means it is already appeared somewhere, that means it is a duplicate. So if it is a duplicate, we have to make it true, and whoever is its parent node, that also should be true. Otherwise we have to add it into the hash map with the whatever key we have and whatever is the node value we got. So let's visualize it here. For example, here when we are calling this method here, at A we will call, then at B it would be called inside. Just you can see here this method is being called inside child, then again same method would be being called inside it. So same thing we are doing here. Okay, so you can visualize here, at A we would have called B, then at B we would have called X, then at X also have called Y, but Y doesn't have anything, it is an empty. That means Y we would be storing, right? At Y we would be storing something, that Y appeared in the hash map, right? Similarly, when it will come back here, XY would be also stored, BXY would be also stored, and then we would have come here ABXY. Now when we will go again, we will come at this point, we will come here at Y. Now we will check that, hey, is this Y is already in the hash map? Yes, we already stored here. So when we see that Y is already occurred, that means this is a duplicate folder. So if it is duplicate folder, we have to make it this folder as true and this folder as true, and the folder which we have stored here, this also true, right? Because we stored in the hash map, so we can get its reference, will make true, will make its parent also true, because as per the question all the folder and subfolders has to become the true. So this is what we are doing here. So see here, as soon as we found that it contains the key, we are marking it true, whoever we found, and we are marking its parent also, node.mark, on which we have called this serial method, that also we have marked equal to true. Otherwise, if it is coming first time, we are storing into the hash map with key and the whatever node we have. Okay, so this is what serial method is doing, and see here this is returning key. Okay, so key is being used in this directory name, and inside it is setting the values for the hash map. Okay, and we are getting the help that who is coming again, then we are setting its that mark we are setting to true, whoever is coming in the duplicate time. Now once we have marked the same node, okay, so we would be marked all these nodes after this operations, it would be look like this, that okay, this guy would be true, right? W also would be true, right? Similarly here Y is also duplicate, so this guy also true, and X would be also true, right? So we have found that these guy who has the true flag, these guys should be deleted in our answer. So next method we have, so serial has done so far this thing. Now we have one more method. This method would be basically deleting these values. So we will discuss about that method as well. So guys, you can observe here, this is the to answer method. So this node is the one which we have just created, right? With whoever is true or whoever kept false, those values we are passing, and we are passing this empty path. Okay, because we want to find all those paths we want to add into this path variable. So we will, whenever we call it, we will pass this as null, and this node would be the one which we have just after serial method. So see here what we are doing. We are going to the key set of this node, right? We have the node.links is the hash map and all its keys, that is the entry point. Now we are going to every ID, so we are getting the child. So try of child would be whatever ID we can get it from the hash map, like node.links.get. So links is the hash map. Okay, so we are checking here that if child.mark equal to true, that means it should be deleted, so it should not there in our answer. So that is why we are continuing. But if it is not the mark as true, then it has to be into our answer. So in this path list, I'm adding this ID. Okay, now I'm adding this to answer variable, right? We created one answer variable in our solution class, which would be park our answer, which is the list of answers. So I'm adding those values. Okay, so we will come back here. So see here what we have done is, here I'm adding this answer into converting into this as a list, because remember we in this example we returned C and CV, right? Similarly A and AV. So see here, as soon as we added the value ID into the path, we created a list of it and added to the answer variable, and on the same path variable which have already this ID added, we have to calling this to answer function again. Okay, this path, like for example a b would have added and be added into the list as well. Now this path has still this value a. Okay, so that we have to add the ab as well. So that is why we are calling same path variable again on the node child, which we got it for the corresponding id. Now we are calling recursively again. Okay, so in this way what will happen, finally what I am doing, I am doing here path dot remove the last element. Why I am removing the last element? For example, see here in this example you can see here that if we added for a, right, then we have to remove all those values so that we can proceed for c. Similarly, this is a backtracking kind of a step that we are following here, so that is why I am removing it. So you can observe here that if in the definition of this recursive function we are removing here, that means when we are inside this call of recursive, this function also would be removing the same way, right? So that we would be end up removing all the things and going for the next value of this id, right? So you can see carefully, this is just a simple recursive approach. Okay, so what happens, finally we are adding everything to our this variable, answer variable. Okay, so we are done for this to answer method. Now all these are being used here. So first of all, see here we are filling every value, we are inserting into the try. We created a try node and we added everything to this, all the paths to the try, and once we done with the try, we call serial method to mark whoever is duplicate folder and its subfolders, and then we call this to answer method, right? See here we are passing this empty path and the try which after the serial method. So this try would be having all the true and false, just we did this, right? So and then we are calling it, so we called then to answer, so it would have added every value to the answer variable. So that is why we are returning here finally return answer. Okay, so this is how this code is working. Let me execute this code. So those who want this code, I will put it into the comment section, they can copy it from there. So thank you guys to watching this video, and if you guys have any concern or any doubt, please make a comment over there, I would definitely reply it. Okay, so thank you guys, keep coding, enjoy the day, bye.